It was not until the principal showed the meal subsidies the girl had provided over 3 years that everyone realized in shock how much she had quietly done for poor students. Yet the scheming girl still shamelessly spread rumors to frame her. Just moments earlier, the scheming girl claimed the girl ran a low-priced cafeteria counter to sell cheap food for dirty money. She urged poor students to pressure her for a refund. Angered, the girl announced she would permanently close the counter. Only then did the students panic. After all, other cafeteria counters were too expensive, and poor students really couldn't afford them. But the scheming girl still arrogantly said the counter belonged to the school. If the girl could run it, so could she. She then called the principal to apply for the counter, promising to let poor students eat tuna every meal, just like other rich kids. Hearing this, students praised her for doing well. They would never have to eat her cheap 3 dishes and 1 soup again. Egged on by the scheming girl and her childhood friend, students even thought they couldn't eat tuna before, because the girl embezzled their meal fees. They called her a pest to the school, and united to drive her away. At that moment, the principal arrived. The scheming girl immediately stepped forward to take credit, saying she exposed the girl who made dirty money, and was willing to take over the counter. But knowing the truth, the principal questioned her on the spot for messing up the school. He asked if she did all this just to seize the counter. The scheming girl argued she was upholding justice and classmates' dignity, but the principal directly exposed her greed. After all, the girl only charged poor students 5 yuan per meal, and provided high-quality meat in 3 dishes with 1 soup. This was clearly charity. Yet students slandered her ungratefully, which was outrageous. So the principal clearly told her the counter would never go to someone with bad character. But the scheming girl retorted, the principal should be fair, not favor the girl for being rich, or discriminate against them for being poor. Thus, egged on by her, students even suspected the principal had a secret deal with the girl. They grew angrier, protesting for fairness. Speechless, the principal told students disappointedly the girl had secretly sacrificed much to keep the counter running. If they didn't believe her, they could check the accounts with her. He then asked her to show all accounts since the counter opened. Students were stunned at the records. Over 3 years of operation, the counter helped over 500 poor students, and the girl's subsidies reached nearly 5 million yuan. Learning the truth, poor students bowed their heads in shame. But the scheming girl still argued the girl couldn't be so kind to subsidize so much. She must have earned more than that. Seeing she refused to repent, the girl showed chat records of the scheming girl instigating others to slander her step by step. She promised to treat them to big meals every day if they ruined the girl's reputation. Only then did students see her true colors. But she still argued the records were forged. However, the girl said she had more evidence. She then showed an investigation into the scheming girl's family background. Students finally learned she was not a poor student at all. She was from a wealthy family with a monthly allowance of over 10,000 yuan. Yet she pretended to be poor and received the highest poverty aid for years. At that moment, another student stepped forward to testify. She was a real poor student who lost her aid spot to the scheming girl. Hearing this, students finally realized they had been used. The students grew angrier, scolding the scheming girl for her viciousness and using them, but the girl reminded them not to rush to cut ties with her. She had found everyone who framed her, and no one would get away with it. Hearing this, the scheming girl's childhood friend felt guilty instantly. He knelt down to apologize to the girl, saying he had been forced by the scheming girl. He added that the scheming girl, thinking the girl's stall made money, had instigated him and other students to cause trouble. Once the stall was ruined and the scheming girl got the right to operate it, she would share the money with them. Unexpectedly, the girl's stall made no profit at all. Instead, she had subsidized millions of yuan in meals for disadvantaged students over 3 years. The scheming girl flew into a rage, yelling at her friend that he had been jealous of the girl's wealthy family and had come up with the idea first. Watching them accuse each other, the girl found it ridiculous and immediately showed the friend's consumption records. Though he was a representative of disadvantaged students, he often used subsidy money to buy expensive clothes and running shoes. Sometimes one of his meals cost as much as another disadvantaged student's monthly food expenses. Then the girl showed his records of buying pre-made dishes. He had just used these cheap pre-made dishes to help the scheming girl slander her, claiming they were found in her canteen kitchen. These evidences proved the friend was also a main culprit in framing her. The girl planned to hand all evidences to the school for punishment. The friend was terrified instantly, apologizing repeatedly and saying he was wrong, begging for another chance. His mother was ill in bed, and school punishment would ruin his life. But the girl questioned him. When they framed her online, did they ever think of giving her a chance? Since they took others' kindness for granted, she would withdraw all her kindness from now on. Seeing this, the principal announced immediately that the scheming girl and her friend, who had pretended to be disadvantaged students to defraud subsidies, and maliciously incited campus unrest, would be expelled and required to return the subsidies. As for other disadvantaged students who joined the cyberbullying, their financial aid would be cancelled, and their behaviors would be recorded in their files as an indelible stain for life. All participants collapsed instantly, but the scheming girl still wanted her wealthy father to retaliate against the girl. Instead, her father scolded her severely. Her scandal had caused an uproar online. Many people boycotted his company, and the scheming girl would soon become a real disadvantaged student.